Soon enough at Longbourn, Jane found herself in receipt of an invitation from...
My dear friend, if you are not so compassionate as to dine with me today, we shall be in danger of hating each other for the rest of our lives. I have seen to the piano receipt of this. We shall dine with my brother, as well as other gentlemen, and sundry officers. Yours ever, Caroline Bingley.
With the officers? The Long and Kitty and I go as well? We should like to meet the sundry officers.
Am I mistaken that there was but one name on the invitation?
May I have the carriage, Father?
Of course.
Indeed not. It would be much better, Jane, if you were to go on horseback, for the weather looks ill, and you may have the good fortune to be thoroughly soaked and stay longer with the Bingleys in ill health.
Mama's hopes were soon answered. Jane had not been gone long when it rained torrents.
That was a lucky idea of mine, indeed.
For you, Liz. This is coming from Netherfield.
My dearest Lizzie, I find myself to be very unwell this morning, which I suppose is to be imputed to my getting wet through yesterday. Bingleys will not hear of my return home till I am better, though excepting a sore throat and a headache, there's not much the matter with me. Yours, Jane.
Well, my dear, if our daughter were to have a fit of illness and die, it would be a comfort to know that I was all in pursuit of Mr. Bingley and under your orders.
Nonsense. People do not die of trifling little colds, and the inconvenience, Mr. Bennet, is worth the price.
She feels ill, and I will go to her.
Is that a hint for me to send out for the horses?
No, the horses are wanted on the fields. I will walk. The distance is nothing when one has motive. Only 3 miles.
You cannot go jumping over stiles and arrive in dirty stockings.
Jane, at least, will forgive me, Mother.
Mr. Bennet!
Miss Elizabeth, how remarkably good of you to come.
A pleasure, of course, Mr. Bingley. You can imagine that my sister's letter gave me some cause for concern.
Of course. I wish I could answer your concern more favorably, but Miss Bennet has slept ill, and although up is not well enough to leave her room, I'll take you to her.
Lizzie, Jane, you are flushed. Should you not be in bed?
We sent for the apothecary. I would be most grateful, Miss Elizabeth, if you would remain in Netherfield until your sister is quite well.
Yes, you stay.
I will dispatch a servant to acquaint your family and return with any necessities.
Mr. Bingley,
Yes.
I cannot attend, thank you.
Any thanks are far beyond the occasion, Miss Bennet. Believe me, I have no pleasure in the world greater than that of contributing to yours.
Well,
He is most attentive.
indeed he is. You're quite drawn to me. I must say, it serves you right for falling in with Mother's orders.
How did you get here?
The horses were commandeered to the field, so I walked.
Through the mud?
Mud, yes.
Walk 3 miles or 4 miles or 5 miles, or whatever it is, above her ankles in mud and alone, quite alone. I cannot see the cause of it. It seems to me to show complete, an abominable sort of conceited independence and complete indifference to decorum.
It shows an affection for her sister that's very pleasing.
I have excessive regard for Miss Jane Bennet, but with such a father and such a mother and such low connections, I'm afraid there's no chance of it. Their uncle's an attorney in Meryton, and the other lives somewhere near Cheapside.
Well, if they had enough uncles to fill all of Cheapside, it would not make them one jot less agreeable. Miss Elizabeth, a pleasure. Your sister improves, I hope?
He's resting, but hopes not to be thought unsociable.
Indeed not. I find it singular and intriguing that you prefer reading to cards, Miss Bennet.
Miss Elizabeth despises cards. She's a great reader and takes little pleasure in anything else.
I deserve neither such praise nor such censure. I am not a great reader, and I take pleasure in many things.
In nursing your sister, you take pleasure, I'm sure.
Hear, hear.
Mr. Darcy, your sister much grown since the spring. I long to see your charming sister again. Such manners and so accomplished for her age.
It It's amazing to me how young ladies can have the patience to be so accomplished as they all are.
All, my dear Charles? What do you mean?
Yes, Caroline, all. I never met a young lady for the first time without being informed that she was very accomplished.
I fear I cannot boast of knowing more than a half dozen in the whole range of my acquaintances that are really accomplished.
You must spend a great deal of time in your idea of an accomplished woman.
She must have thorough knowledge of music, dancing, singing, drawing, languages. A certain something in her air and manner, her dress, the tone of her voice, and expressions. Or the word will be but half deserved.
And to all this she must yet add something substantial, in the expansion of her mind by extensive reading.
I am no longer surprised at your knowing only 6 accomplished women, Mr. Darcy. I rather wonder at your knowing any.
I say, sister, would you perhaps take to the pianoforte and favor us with a lively Scotch air?
Yes. And perhaps Miss Bennet will seize the opportunity and show us a fling. Simple, seeming, but difficult in the execution. Will you essay, Miss Bennet?
Oh, I heard you before. You wanted me, I know, to say yes, that you might have the pleasure of despising my taste. But I always take delight in cheating a person of their premeditated contempt. So I decided to tell you that I do not want to dance with you at all. And now despise me if you dare.
Sorry, Darcy.
And is Mr. Darcy not to be laughed at?
The wisest and best of men may be rendered ridiculous by someone whose first object in life is a joke.
Certainly there are such people, but I hope I am not one of them. I hope I never ridicule what is wise and good. Follies and nonsense, whims and inconsistencies do divert me, I own, and I laugh at them whenever I can. But I suppose these are precisely what you are about.
Perhaps that is not possible for anyone. But it has been the study of my life to avoid such weaknesses as often expose a strong understanding to ridicule.
Such as vanity and pride.
Yes, vanity is a weakness indeed. But pride, where there is a true superiority of the mind, pride will always be under good regulation. My temper I dare not vouch for. It is at once too little yielding and perhaps resentful. My good opinion once lost, lost forever.
That is failing indeed. But you've chosen your fault well. I really cannot laugh at it. You're safe from me.
There is, I believe, in every disposition a tendency towards some particular evil, a natural defect which not even the best education can overcome.
And your defect is a propensity to hate everybody.
While yours is to willfully misunderstand them.